Good morning. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And today we're going to finish our, we're going to continue our talk about fast cat events. These are really fun events. CAT stands for Coursing Ability Test. And it's a fun event where the dogs chase a plastic bag on a string down a 100-foot run. And it's a lot of fun for them because they get to chase the bunny. So when you want to do this with your dog, and you can listen to yesterday's for more information about what it really is, it's really important that you don't just pull your dog off of his bed and say, come on, let's go run. You need to condition your dog. These dogs are sometimes so excited about this that they are at an all-out top speed run for the entire length of the course. That is the equivalent of an Olympic swimmer going one length of the pool, or a sprinter on the track at the Olympics also doing an all-out run for a short distance. You need muscles that are conditioned to do this kind of work, and it's really important to train your dog to get ready for this event. So I recommend working your way up to about a mile walk a day, and then try to jog with your dog up to a quarter of a mile or less. You can start by doing telephone poles. One telephone pole length is a good amount to start with if you and your dog can do it. 2 telephone pole lengths are excellent because that's about as far as he's going to run for the event. Now, obviously, you're not going at his top speed. Just a little jogging is good. So do lots of walks. Another thing you can do to condition your dog, hikes up and down hills. Now, in some areas of the country, that may be harder to do than others, but the hill work is really, really important. And if you only have one steep hill at the end of your street to walk up and down, that is fine. The going up and down the hills really strengthens the muscles around the stifle, the knee, and the back of the dog. Stand up a second, this right here. And you want your hammies and your quads in the front to be equally strong so that that patella stays on track. And hill work is the best way to do that. You can teach your dog to back up and do backing up exercises, also good for the hammies. People often ask about, what about the sit up, sit up, sit up? That only builds the quads. It is a not great thing to do in terms of balancing the knee. So I don't recommend that. And in fact, it can cause a lot of problems. It's not an exercise I'm a fan of in any event. So another thing you can do besides running up and down hills, walking up and down hills, lots of long walks, swimming. If you have a pool or a kiddie pool and you can get your dog in there so it's deep enough for a Corgi to swim around in circles, have him do that. Take him to the beach, take him to the lake, take him to the river, the pond, and let him swim. Swimming is excellent because it's really good aerobic exercise as well as muscular exercise. So you've got swimming, hiking. What else can we do? Well, we can play catch in the backyard with the frisbee, the ball, whatever you have around the house that the dog likes to retrieve, squeaky toys. The kids can play with the dog. Lots of retrieving is a really good thing to do for this sport training because you are running after something and then they're bringing it back. So the dog is doing short bursts of running. He's in fast cat, you don't have to turn like you do in some other dog sports. So being able to just run is a good thing. So playing fetch is a good thing. If you've got kids who are 8 years old and they just like to run around the backyard with the dog, that's a great thing too. But don't do the fetching and the running around in exchange of the other activities. You really need to do hill work and you really need to walk about a mile a day. It's really important to build up your dog's strength to be able to do this. You know, lots of breeds have certain issues, little thin legs, not so muscular butts, Corgis, you know, being kind of squat and heavy. So there's lots of reasons to condition your dog. One thing you can do is look back at my video about the Fit Dog Challenge for AKC, the American Kennel Club, because while you're conditioning your dog, which should take about 2 months before a fast cat event, I recommend, unless your dog is already showing an agility or something, you can go to the AKC website, download their paperwork, and also record your dog for the Fit Dog Challenge while you're doing this. This is a really fun thing to do with a friend, even if your friend lives in Arizona and you are in Indiana. you guys can do this, like, how far did you walk today? What did you see? Oh, we had to skip that day. And, you know, so it's a fun thing that you can do, pandemic or not. So the Fit Dog Challenge is a good thing to do while you're training for Fast Cat. So you've got your dog swimming and running and you're walking with him every day. What else do you need to do to get him ready for this event? Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. You can put a squeaky toy in a plastic bag at the end of a string or a lunge line. You can get a branch from the woods that's about 4 feet long, or use a broom or something you have in the house. Tie a dog leash to the end with the bag with the squeaky in it, or stinky treats, and run around the yard yourself. You have to be pretty fit to do this to get your dog to chase the bag. You can also pull it around in circles, but be careful because weight loading onto the inside leg, the hind leg, in running in circles like you do with horses is bad for horses and bad for dogs when you're training for Fast Cat. Much better to have some children run around with a bag all over the yard willy-nilly, get the dog to chase it. If you're lucky enough to have a track near you, like a high school track, that's a great place to go and walk around in circles, and it's always maintained well, and then you know exactly how far you're jogging with your dog because this is a 100-yard dash. So we'll talk tomorrow more about what to do on the day of the show when you're doing the Fast Cat race, because a lot of people don't know to warm up their dogs and cool down their dogs, and there's really good reasons to spend a little extra time walking your dog around when you're at the actual event. Right, Tristan? He says, well, it smells good there. So make sure you condition your dog about 2 months before you're going to bring him to a Fast Cat event. Now, if your dog is older, you may want to do a little more conditioning. If he's a puppy, you know, he's like 1, or you have to be 1 to do this. If he's 1 or 2 years old, you might not have to work so hard. For a lot of people, finding time to walk your dog a mile, which takes about, smartly walking, 20 to 25 minutes. You know, you might not have time for that, but it's really essential if you're going to do this sport that you get your dog some exercise. So you might have to hire a dog walker to do half the walk. The Fit Dog Challenge, I think, makes you do something 5 days a week. So if you've got the 2 days of the weekend and, you know, with the light change and stuff, you can probably do half the walk in the morning, half in the evening. But it's really important for your dog's health to actually train for this event. I know a dog trainer I know said, oh, people love Fast Cat because they don't have to train their dog. They don't have to do anything. They just show up. Well, you know what? That's what you can do, but it's not what's best for your dog. So make sure you give the dog a little exercise before he's going to do this. And, you know, my dog is not super crazy chasing. He doesn't have a high prey drive. Some dogs do, and they are going to run faster than you have ever seen them. So it's really important that you have their muscles and tendons and ligaments and bones ready for this mad dash 100 yards chasing the bunny. So thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Next time he says Corgi. Next time we're going to talk about what you do at the actual event. And I don't know when that will be. Maybe, what am I doing tomorrow? Possibly tomorrow. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great day. And if anybody knows anything about Facebook, it will not let me post my videos that I'm doing here on the other pages I maintain or on my personal page. I don't know why. When I put share, it only lets me go to groups, and then if I become my other self and go to one of those groups, I can't share it to myself. So that's a real bummer because my other pages, holistic physical therapy and craniosacral therapy for animals, are not getting any posts because I can't share these. And I can't even put these on my personal page, so some people there are not finding this page and all the information we have on our YouTube channel. So if you know anything about making Facebook work that way, let me know. Thanks for joining us, everybody.